Young and the Restless spoilers on Amanda Sinclair and Billy Abbott are hot and fresh from our favorite CBS insider. The new coronavirus safety protocols on the field have changed everything, and now there is a delay and a pairing test planned. Check it out. The source of the Young and the Restless series tells us they are about to have Billy Abbott flirting with the beautiful Lily Winters and see how things go. After that, they'll wait and see what fans think of the possible Billy-Lily pairing. They started some jokes between Lily and Billy. Some Young and the Restless viewers seemed to feel the Lily Winters-Billy Abbott vibe, while others wanted to see him alongside Amanda Sinclair. As for Lily, most fans were glad she didn't have Kane Ashby. And, there's no sign of him coming back, so Lily remains single and ready to mingle. But, if Lily's chemistry with Billy Abbott is not the same as Young and the Restless, then there is another option for her. If power had been exercised as originally planned and placed Billy with Amanda, then Lily could have been with Chance Chancellor, as his current affair would likely be over. Before COVID closed production at Y&R, Amanda Sinclair had plans to work with Billy Abbott, according to our internal sources. However, when CBS returned, there was a ban on love scenes, except for real-life couples. So, Devin and Elena are still hot and heavy. Plus, Young and the Restless spoilers promise things to heat up with Sharon Newman and Adam Newman, who are rumored to be dating the IRL as well. As for Billy and Amanda, they continue to flirt, but writers are believed to be taking this time to check on couples. Since they really weren't able to do the love scenes in Young and the Restless, they're discovering what thrills fans. So that means they will continue to flirt lightly between Amanda Sinclair and the bad guy Billy. However, Y&R will also test him and Amanda against other partners. Guess who? Our Y&R insider says that CBS is conducting a 2-month trial with Nate Hastings casually dating lawyer Amanda Sinclair. Meanwhile, Billy Abbott flirts with Lily. They will then watch how their ratings have progressed and how social media viewers comment on couples. By then, Young and the Restless may have recovered to continue kissing and love scenes. So then they can make a commitment as they start writing a serious romance. So what are you hoping to see? Would you like Billy Abbott to spend another night in Amanda Sinclair's bed? Of course, in the previous Young and the Restless, Billy comforted Amanda. Next time can be more steamed. Or, it could be Billy with Lily, and Amanda with the hot document. It all depends on the ratings and viewers, so it's up to you. Stay tuned for CBS Sudser and remember to comment. Michael Mueller has had at least one good thing this year as he posts cute pictures of his new puppy. When Mueller joined the Young and the Restless as Kyle Abbott, the young actor seemed to be spending time with his new friend. You can see the pictures he posted below with the following caption. As committed, he will not immerse himself in the sunset, no matter where he stands with the rest of the family. He planned to still visit his grandmother, and he vowed not to have any arguments in front of her. Jack is happy that Theo wants to spend time with Dina, and he emphasizes that leaving the company doesn't mean cutting off with his family. Jack mentions how much Abbott has gone through Job Oates' revolving doors over the years, and that he thinks family is a bond that stays on forever. Ray escorted Sharon home from her surgery. She asked where everyone was, and he asked how she felt. She replied that she was happy that the surgery was over and she just wanted to breathe a little. He assured her that the house was quiet to give her a chance to rest. Mariah, Tessa, Faith and Nick rushed in and chaotic about Sharon. Faith asked if the doctors had removed the cancer or if it had spread. The group looked at each other worriedly. Sharon explained that she is still waiting for her medical report, but she is expected to still have chemotherapy and radiation therapy. Sharon wondered what smelled like that, and Tessa, Mariah and Faith revealed that they had picked takeout from all of Sharon's favorite places. Tessa says they ran into Nick and Phyllis while choosing a deep-filling pizza. Sharon was surprised to learn Nick had pizza with Phyllis, and she wondered what she'd missed. Reluctantly, Nick says he doesn't want to risk insulting Sharon any sooner, but he and Phyllis got back together. Sharon is shocked and stammered that she is nowhere to handle the news. Tessa apologizes for saying anything, and Sharon assures her that it was not her fault. Sharon sees it as just another example of how the world is turning. She and Nick have been on that path before. Nick swore it wasn't a secret, but he just waited for the right moment to tell her. Sharon claims it explains for the gift basket that Phyllis had sent out prior to the surgery. Nick was about to take off, and Sharon coldly thanked him for checking on her. Nick left, and Sharon asked Ray to accompany her upstairs. After that, Mariah explained that Sharon shouldn't get out of bed. Sharon complains that she can't sleep and she doesn't want to be alone. Mariah offered to call everyone in from the kitchen, but Sharon wanted to talk privately about her scar. Mariah wondered if Sharon should talk to her doctors, but Sharon liked to talk to another woman who would understand what she was feeling. Sharon realized that she hadn't seen what she looked like underneath her eyes, but she knew she would look different from before. Sharon harshly asks if her worries are superficial, but Mariah insists that whoever judges Sharon will have to answer Mariah. Mariah continued that it was normal for Sharon to care about her looks, and it would be strange if Sharon didn't. Sharon complained that she ate healthy and exercised, thinking she had control over her body, but her cancer had begun to strike. She was scared to learn that the disease was causing her. Mariah says the stitches may not be noticeable, but Sharon suspects it could be after the major surgery. Mariah retorted that Sharon had a suit of permanent cover. Sharon lamented that she would still see it, and Mariah realized her mother was worried about Ray's reaction. Mariah was sure Ray wouldn't care, but Sharon sobbed that she would. Sharon admits that the most important thing is her health, but things will never be the same before being diagnosed, as the disease changes her forever. Mariah suggests Sharon see the incision as a physical representation of her strength and courage, and Sharon likes affection. Mariah declares that Sharon will always be the most beautiful woman in the world for her. Sharon and her loved ones enjoyed a takeaway party. Sharon wondered how they got food from a sashimi place that did not provide takeaway, and Mariah confessed that she paid the doorman. Ray pretends to be horrified that Mariah bribed, and Sharon asks them to make a deal that none of them will be sentenced before she relieved. At Grand Phoenix, Phyllis dragged a large box into her hotel and predicted it would be hard to breathe while inspecting the inside. There was a knock on the door and Amanda called that she had seen Phyllis enter the room. Phyllis opened the door but refused to invite Amanda in. Amanda pushed away to find out what was in the large box Phyllis had put in, and Phyllis claimed it was a bunch of clothes she ordered online. Amanda jumped into Phyllis' protest and motioned for the box. "What the hell?" Amanda exclaimed as she lifted a large bone out of the box. Phyllis claims the bones are fake, but Amanda says they look real to her. Phyllis grabbed the bone and hoped Amanda didn't think she dug because she hadn't done so in a long time. "Does that mean you've done it before?" Amanda asked suspiciously. Phyllis told her that the bone was not human, but Amanda countered that it was still bone. Amanda points out that Phyllis has yet to explain why she has bones, and she is shocked to find more bones in the box. Phyllis insisted they were part of the lobby installation, but Amanda did not buy it. Phyllis suggested that was a good reason, and Amanda offered a suggestion. Phyllis shares that they are dinosaur bones that will save her hotel from extinction. In the hotel lobby, Phyllis bumped into Nick and asked how Sharon's surgery was going. Nick reported that there was no problem with the procedure, but Sharon was aware of their reunification, and it was not yet permeated for her. Phyllis hoped Sharon would be well enough to follow her. Besides that continued to make noise, and Nick commented that Abby has not given up on the fight yet. He caught Phyllis anxiously checking her watch and realized she was up to something. Nick found it odd that Phyllis was so gentle about construction. Phyllis eagerly learned to deal with it, but Nick saw a look of conspiracy in her eyes. She was seductive to his side and didn't let him tell her what her body was saying, and he replied that she was dirty, literally. He took a tissue from the bar and wiped some dirt from her neck. She saw it as proof that she had worked to the end to keep the place alive. Phyllis considers Nick a must-know. Nick asks her to promise that Abby won't get hurt, and Phyllis obliged. There was a loud sound of a jackhammer outside and Nick realized the construction was really messing with the business of the hotel. Phyllis is back to work, and Nick calls Abby and announces he has a proposal to do. Amanda then approached Phyllis and joked asking to speak to her master about the bones in her closet. Phyllis wanted to know what was going on with Amanda, who shared that she just took a job as an internal consultant for Chancellor Communications. Phyllis complimented Lily for her straightforward posture, but she reminded Amanda how good a person Billy could be. Amanda was sure Billy wouldn't have a problem, but Phyllis advised her to step lightly. Phyllis asks Amanda's help on her plans for Grand Phoenix, and Amanda humorously asks if it's an ugly skeleton. Phyllis had planned a great marketing idea when the noise stopped, and she asked Amanda's idea for the perfect place to stay. Amanda envisioned a massage, delicious food and at least one good friend to share. Nick and Abby met at the society, and he gave her pictures of buildings on his tablet. He informed her that he owned them all and that he wanted to give her one. He noted that it would take years of construction to complete her new hotel, but she would have operated quickly if simply renovating one of his buildings. Abby realizes that he wants her to stop building opposite the Grand Phoenix. Nick volunteered to cover her sunken expenses, so there was no reason for her to refuse. Abby realized he didn't do it for her, he did it for Phyllis because he loved her again. Abby thinks Phyllis put Nick on it. Nick points out that Phyllis tried not to involve him because she knew he cared about both women, and he refused to apologize for having a crush on Phyllis. He realized that Phyllis had gone to the extreme to get to the hotel she had put her heart, soul and last coin in. He argues that Abby has the association and has enough money to build a dozen hotels, but Grand Phoenix's Phyllis just shot. Abby is indignant that that doesn't justify what Phyllis did. Nick argues that Abby understands the fighting instinct for what she wants, and he wants to convince her that there's no need to fight to death. They also receive a text and are shocked to learn that Victoria is back in charge of Newman. Abby couldn't imagine how their sister had drawn or Adam was fine with him. Nick hopes Victoria did the best of Adam once and for all, but he turns the topic back to what he and Abby discussed. Nick asked if they had a deal. Return to Y&R for all the latest news, updates and savings on The Young and the Restless. Don't forget to return to the Y&R channel for the latest news.